Up until the late 1960s, abortion was banned in Australia unless the pregnancy posed a risk to life. Legal abortions were difficult to obtain and expensive. Many doctors feared prosecution and stigma. So, for most Australians with an unwanted pregnancy, the choice was to risk an illegal backyard abortion or give birth and consider putting the child up for adoption. The contraceptive pill was made available in Australia in 1961, but initially it would only be prescribed to married women, with predictable results.
In the past year, 18,000 illegitimate babies have been born in Australia. 1 birth in 12 is illegitimate.
The social expectation generally was, if you got pregnant, you married the father, had the child, and made the best of things. And so, in the 1960s, 25% of brides were pregnant at the time of their wedding.
It's a heavy responsibility for a man to bear. Thank heaven for Mother, so calm and confident. He must hide his own misgivings.
Before Roe v. Wade in America, we had our own landmark cases. Menhennet in Victoria in 1969 found abortion was legal if the doctor thought it was necessary and proportionate. That came after a major police crackdown on abortion providers.
The current police drive against abortionists in Victoria has led to an unprecedented series of charges against Melbourne doctors and their staff, accused of performing or assisting at abortions. Charges of conspiracy have been brought against other doctors alleged to have referred patients to abortionists. The homicide squad of the CIB has raided and searched doctors' rooms.
2 years later, the Levine ruling in New South Wales went further, saying if the doctor thought there was any economic, social or medical ground or reason an abortion would avoid serious danger to the pregnant woman's life or to her physical or mental health, it would be lawful to provide an abortion. In 1970, South Australia changed its laws to protect doctors who provided abortions to preserve a woman's physical or mental health, but that still left a lot of women unable to end a pregnancy safely and legally, with around half still being turned away from hospitals.
The head of the Department of Obstetrics at the hospital, Professor Cox, says that anyone thinking that abortion is now available on demand is in for a disappointment. And this raises the question, is abortion really any easier to obtain now than before the act was liberalised?
I don't think it is. Not in our practice at any rate.
The process of decriminalisation and legalisation of abortion in Australia picked up pace through the 1970s with the support of the women's liberation movement, and continued until only very recently.
An historic moment to overturn a 119-year-old law.
Now, abortion will be decriminalised in New South Wales.
There are still limits and differences between the states and territories. In Victoria, surgical abortion is legal to 24 weeks. After that, you need 2 doctors to approve, while in Tasmania, it's legal to 16 weeks. Then 2 doctors need to approve. The others are somewhere in between, and medical abortion using 2 prescription drugs are only available until 9 weeks after conception.